welcome back to Sports the NEMO Way, the Saints episode. Yes, we'll be talking about the New Orleans Saints 7-on-7 team, and you might be surprised, they might be pretty good. With that being said, housekeeping issues today. Again, there's only four of us here. Drew dished us again. The bum needs to get his stuff together here. I don't know what's going on. But that being said, I think we're done with that. So, Wade, who is your Saints 7-on-7 quarterback?
Well, it's Drew Brees.
Yep,
Yeah,
too.
mine too.
I feel like it's probably the most obvious pick of all the teams. There's really no competition, I don't think.
No, not really, unless you want to talk about Archie.
That was the only other person I even thought
Yeah.
about.
I mean, obviously, I like Archie, but I don't think his numbers quite compare with Drew
No.
Brees.
No.
Nope, not at all.
One of the most, stat-wise, one of the most prolific quarterbacks ever as far as numbers go. I think he's mainly like second all time in most of the major categories, yards and touchdowns.
It's also stupid accurate.
Yeah, has the most 5,000-yard seasons of all time. Like I said, he's second all time, I believe, in passing yards and passing touchdowns. And he has, what, 4 5,000-yard seasons?
That's a good question.
I think he's got like something like that. 4 of them.
1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Yep.
Yeah. I think he had some. Yes, yeah. He's just, I think we voted him as a top 5 quarterback of all time on the podcast. So he's a beast, and the Saints, like I said, don't really have much else. They before Drew Brees really struggled a lot. So
he brought him a Super Bowl. I mean,
yeah, unfortunately for us Colts fans.
all right. Well, that was obviously unanimous. So, Uncle Doug, do you have a position player for us?
I do, but I'm having a hard time finding his stats. Mike Thomas.
Oh, I also have Mike Thomas.
Oh, well, what are you wanting for him?
Michael Thomas?
You want me to read his stats for you?
Yes, please do.
With the Saints, he played 7 years, if you take away the injured year, and had 565 receptions, 6,500 yards, and 36 touchdowns. We mainly did almost all that in 4 years.
Yeah.
In a 4-year period, his receptions were 92, 104, 125, and 149. And his career was kind of over. Unfortunately, he did break Marvin Harrison's record for most receptions in a season by a few receptions. Had a 1,700-yard season where he led the league and also set the all-time record with 149 receptions that year. Had a 1,400-yard season where he also led the league with 125 receptions. A 1,200-yard season with 104 receptions. And 1,100-yard, 92 receptions. And his career really is pretty much over after those 4 seasons. He sticks around for a couple more years, misses 1 complete year with an injury, and never plays more than... He plays between 3 and 10 games between 3 years. And
Didn't he have some legal
It's
trouble
over.
too or something?
I was just sitting here trying to remember. I think this 2020 year, the year after his huge season, he either holds out or is suspended.
Yeah, something happened.
Yeah.
And then things went really badly after that.
But for a very short period there, he shined pretty brightly.
For about 2 years, he was the best receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in the 2 years before that, he was pretty damn good, too.
Definitely.
Alex, did you have him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's back-to-back unanimous.
Yeah.
Y'all.
All right, Ray, we're around to you, buddy.
All right. I went with Mr. Nose Ring himself, Alvin Kamara.
I also have Alvin.
I also do.
Yep, same here.
I feel like he's kind of the perfect running back for this.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
He's an all-around machine.
5-time Pro Bowler, Offensive Rookie of the Year. All 8 seasons in New Orleans. 6,779 yards with 60 touchdowns. Let's see, his carries. 4.4 carry. Let's see, 573 receptions for 4,762 yards, 8.3 reception, 25 touchdowns. So, yeah. Perfect for 7-on-7.
Yeah, I think he's a great back for the situation. That's 3 straight unanimous. It's a lot of pressure on me here, guys.
It does.
So I'm going to go with somebody I think I can keep the streak alive with. I went with none other than Jimmy Graham.
I did as well.
Yep, same here.
Yep.
All right. That's 4 straight unanimous. There you go. I said off air earlier that I think Jimmy Graham is the perfect tight end for 7-on-7. Freak athlete, very tall, go up and get any jump ball you ask him to, but also can run. Great hands. You're not asking him to block a lot, which feeds into his personality and play style. But he played 6 years in New Orleans. His first year he wasn't really the player that he turned into, but after that really took off for a few years there. I mean, kind of culminating in a 1,200 yards, 16 touchdown season where he's a Pro Bowler and first team All Pro in 2013. And then between contract disputes and injuries, things kind of derailed shortly after that. But his 6 years in New Orleans, he has almost 5,000 yards on 392 receptions on 12 yards a catch and 55 touchdowns. And I thought he was a worthy addition to this Saints offense.
I think so.
4 straight unanimous. Wade, can you keep it up?
I hope so. I have Joe Horn.
I do as well.
Yeah.
Nope.
You son of a.
I was going to be hard to keep unanimous anyway because I went a weird direction with my team.
I thought you'd be one of my guaranteed Joe Horn guys.
I actually just mentioned him last episode.
Yeah. Well, in 7 years, he had 7,600 yards and 50 touchdowns in 7 seasons. I mean, he shows up in New Orleans and goes for 1,300, 1,200, 1,300, just under 1,000 and 1,400 yards. In an era where they weren't very good and they struggled with consistency and didn't always have the greatest quarterback play, he was one of the best wide receivers in the NFL.
Was he there with Aaron when Aaron Brooks was the quarterback?
Yeah. Yep. At least I'm pretty sure. It had to be his era, right?
I mean, it's been close anyway, yeah.
And then, I mean, he literally averaged over 1,000 yards a season there. He averaged almost 1,100 yards per season in New Orleans. And yeah, was a 4-time Pro Bowler, all with New Orleans. So I thought he was a good pick.
I'm not gonna lie, I probably messed up by not putting him on my team, but
Oh, we'll see
Yeah,
who you
it's too
put.
late now.
If you put Dante Stallworth, I swear to God.
I did not. Although, talk about a super talented receiver, though. He never really put it all together, but he was stupid talented.
I just remembered you liking him back in the day.
I did like him a lot, but no, I did not put him on this team.
He's the one that he killed someone.
He killed somebody, yeah.
Like it was an accident. Like I think,
I think he ran over with his car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Well, Uncle Doug, I think we're back around to you.
Yeah, and I have another receiver for you, Marcus Colston.
I also have Colston.
Yeah, me too.
All right. See, Alex, you could have had.
There'll be more non-4s. Let me tell you, I got more guys coming.
So played for the Saints from 06 through 2015. 711 receptions for 9,700 yards, 72 touchdowns. He averaged 13.7 yards per catch. Had 6,000 yard seasons in his 10 years, and then a couple more of 900s. So pretty productive. did not make All-Pro or Pro Bowls. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I literally just pointed that out with Alex. I said he'd never make a Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
That's kind of shocking.
And,
I mean, you go for 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns. You can't make a Pro Bowl.
I know.
Yeah, another season where he had like 1,150 yards and 10 touchdowns and didn't make it either.
Yeah. I don't know.
And a handful of other 1,000
I
yard
would have
seasons.
sworn he made the Pro Bowl, but they say otherwise.
The favorite target of Drew Brees for quite a while.
Yep. 6'4", 225.
Between him and Michael Thomas, there's some definite size at the receiver spot on this team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, Jimmy Graham's 6'7".
Yeah, and Jimmy Graham, I feel, yeah.
Right,
him
yeah.
too, yeah.
The quarterback was short, but the receivers weren't.
Yeah.
All right, Ray, we're back around to you, buddy.
All right, with my final pick, I went with Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, I don't have Cooks.
I didn't pick Cooks for this one.
No, I didn't either.
Okay. I thought with all the size, we might need a speedster. Let's see, he spent 3 years in New Orleans. 2,861 yards, 13.3 yards per reception, 20 touchdowns, and no rushing yards that I can see. But yeah, he's been in different places. Pretty much the same quality guy, speed guy. That's why I got him.
Didn't he come up in another episode not that long ago?
Probably New England or something, maybe.
Was it New England or was it Houston?
It
Could
was
have been Houston.
I think we put him on Houston.
See, New Orleans, New England, Los Angeles, Houston, and Dallas.
Well, I think we at least talked about him. I think
I think we did put him on Houston now that I think about it.
he might have been one of my one votes. I don't know.
All right. Well, I guess we're back around to me. I have two guys left. I don't know how many everybody else has, but
I have one.
well, I have Reggie Bush.
That's my last
Oh.
one.
We're talking about a running back who was first off ran like a 4.2 at the combine, but also his rookie season with New Orleans came in and caught 88 balls for 742 yards. Reggie was always able to catch out of the backfield, and fortunately for me, unfortunately for him, he's actually the highlight of one of the greatest Eagle highlights of all time.
He gets destroyed.
He gets destroyed on a screen pass. Drew Brees dumps a screen pass off to him, and I think it's Sheldon Williams just murders him in the middle of the field. Just it's an absolute crazy hit. But anyway, Bush was always a great receiving back. He could run a little bit, but he was a really great receiving back and really fast. And I thought it brought a speed element to this team. You could line him up in the slot, or you could keep him in the backfield with Kamara. I thought it brought some versatility.
Well, his expertise was open field running,
Yes.
and he was, that was his specialty. So 7-on-7, he would go fucking buck wild. So yeah,
So does that mean you're done as well now, Wade?
yep.
All right, Uncle Doug, you're up now.
Alright. I went old school, something that I remember from years and years ago. Danny Abramowitz.
Who but what?
And Brahma.
Danny Abramowitz.
You know, spell that.
Abramowicz. He played for the Saints from 67 through 70, through 73, 74. It was kind of, end of his career was kind of weird there. Back when they were playing 14 games. He had 309 receptions for almost like 75 yards, averaged 15.8 per catch, had 37 touchdowns. He was all-pro once. Obviously, the Saints were not any good back then, so he didn't have any Super Bowls, but I just remember watching him when I was a kid. So being like one of the first Saint receivers that everybody knew.
All right, Ray, you got one left for us?
No, I'm out.
All right, well, I got my last guy. I know everybody's going to look at me like I'm weird, but it'll make sense in a second. I went with Darren Sproles.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
But I want you, he played 3 years in New Orleans, and I want you to listen to these stats. Receiving 86 catches for 710 yards and 7 touchdowns, 75 catches for 667 yards and 7 touchdowns, 71 catches for 604 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's his receiving yards in his 3 years in New Orleans.
Okay.
On top of, running some. But I just thought that putting Bush and Sproles and Kamara in the backfield and would be just crazy, and you could split them out. They all three can split out and run routes as well. And like Wade said, just the open field tackling that you would have to do to bring any of these three guys down would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. We call that a spice pick, Alex. And I like it. I
I was
like it.
considering Chris Olave, the guy they have there now.
Oh yeah.
He's
Olave is
really,
good.
really good. He just has been on some cruddy teams, but he's very talented. Very talented. I mean,
And just for Drew, I hope he listens to this episode. Just for Drew, I mean, and Darren Sproles, the punt returner.
didn't Sproles have like the record for like most?
He's got the most all-purpose yards
Yeah.
There you go.
of all time. Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, there's our guys. We have what, 5 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys that are already in. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys for 2 spots.
Yep.
Well.
Well, you know what? I'm going to get on the Sproles train. I like that.
Oh. All right. I like it, Ray.
I don't know if I can get on with Reggie Bush, but I'm going to Sproles.
Huh. I can't say that other guy's name, but that's you, right, Uncle Doug?
Abramowitz.
I'm waiting to see where you guys go
I don't
before I
know.
move him.
I was gonna come off Sproles because he was my one, but then Ray went to him, so now I can't leave Ray hanging.
Oh, don't be hanging around to make me feel better.
Here's what we'll do. We can get 2 of the backs on. I'll help you with Sproles, but if you leave Reggie and go to Horn, I'll leave Reggie and go to Sproles, and then
I'll go to Sproles to finish it off.
we'll be
Okay,
done.
sounds good to me.
We'll have
That
Kamara
work?
and Sproles, and just no Reggie Bush.
All right.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Because I feel like you get 2 of the backs on, you still get the dynamic that you were talking about. But then Joe Horn is maybe the most dominant receiver in their franchise history.
So Sproles and Horn.
Yep.
Is where we're
Yes.
going?
That's
Okay.
where we're going.
And you get a 1 in.
I did. I got a 1 in. Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
I tell you what, with Breeze throwing to him, this bunch
Yeah.
They're gonna
pretty legit.
This offense is gonna be nasty.
It's gonna be. They're just gonna be able to find mismatches and exploit them.
Yes. Well, we've got a little bit of everything.
Yeah. They got speed. They got receivers that are big bodied, and then they got a humongous tight end.
Yeah. Who has great hands.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Thomas was a possession receiving machine.
Yeah.
Graham was a down the middle, deep guy. Horn was kind of an all around guy.
Colston and Thomas played a lot alike, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then yeah. It'd be nasty. Then you have your 2 little running backs doing all kinds of little creative stuff out of the backfield.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Well, this leads us into the defense. So, Wade, would you like to get started with a Saints defender?
Hang on, I'm not prepared yet.
Well, then.
Yeah, this wasn't as easy as the offense.
No, it's not.
Okay. Sorry, I said pull my stuff up. Well, I'll go with a modern one to start off. I have Marshawn Lattimore.
I also have Lattimore.
I also have Latimer.
I do too.
I
All right.
believe just got traded to the Redskins at the end of this past year, but he's been their best corner for a while.
Yeah.
Was there from 17 to 2024. Is known for having some of the most epic battles in the NFL with Mike Evans. As he actually, I think he had a streak where he actually used to shut Mike Evans down all the time. Just one of the better corners in the league. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler. Looks like he's a Rookie of the Year. Yeah, he's just one of the best corners in the league for this new age football. 4-time Pro Bowl guy, had 15 interceptions from age 21 to 28, and yeah, been the Saints' best corner for quite a while.
All right, Uncle Doug, you got a guy for us?
I do. I have another corner. Dave Waymer.
Yep, I got him.
Yep,
I do
me
too.
too.
So he played for the Saints from 1980 through 89. That 10-year span, he had 37 interceptions. So looks like about 15 fumble recoveries. Made a Pro Bowl. Second team All Pro. Just another solid corner. 6'1", 195, so he had a little size to him. Played a little safety at the end of his career, but started off as a corner.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Absolutely. Ray, you got one for us now?
I do. I went with a defensive back. He was a Super Bowl champion. His name is Jabari Greer.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this guy.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, okay. He played 5 years in New Orleans. 9 interceptions, 2 for touchdown. 1 fumble recovery. 256 combined tackles. I don't know. He came up in a lot of lists I seen. Popular guy.
Okay, I'll take
Yeah,
your word for
yeah.
it. All right, well, I think that brings us around to me. I went with one of my all-time faves here, and I went with none other than Malcolm Jenkins.
yep, me too.
Yep, I have that one.
Malcolm Jenkins was, well, the great thing about Malcolm Jenkins is he's stupid versatile. He played a lot of safety, played a lot of slot corner, a little bit of outside corner, but he pretty much lined up everywhere. He was very good at safety and very good at slot corner. He played 7 years in New Orleans. Bookended his career there, and only has 10 interceptions in those 7 years, but was a hell of a ball player on top of it. Also had over 500 tackles in those years, 8 sacks, 5 fumble recoveries, 8 forced fumbles, 3 interceptions returned for touchdown, 1 fumble recovered for touchdown. Just an all-around, all over the field type of guy. He was also a team captain. And he is a 2-time Super Bowl champ, 1 with New Orleans and 1 with the Eagles. So, yep, Malcolm Jenkins. And that brings us back around to you, Wade.
Well, I'm going with another current guy, Tyrann Mathieu.
Me too.
Me 3.
Yep, me too.
Oh, 4.
Tyrann Mathieu's, again, been one of the best defensive backs in the NFL for pretty much a decade.
And he has a kick-ass nickname.
The Honey Badger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's also known for his extreme versatility. Everywhere he's played, he's been exceptional and one of the best players in the league. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro. He's a Super Bowl champion throughout his career. Um, I mean, he's 32 years old and he's already got 36 interceptions, 11 sacks, over 800 tackles. I mean, he's just a great, versatile safety. Has spent a large part of his career not just playing safety, but he's what comes down and plays a very, very good slot corner. He's extremely good at it to the point where he's almost as good a corner as he is safety. At least he was in his younger years. He's been with New Orleans for the past 3 years, and is just doing his usual stuff. Has 3 or 4 interceptions every single year he's been there. Puts up good tackle numbers. I mean, he's just, like I said, he's one of the best safeties in the league, one of the most versatile defensive backs in the league, and unfortunately, he's just been stuck on a middling Saints team that doesn't get a lot of attention right now. But he's a great player.
All right. Well, I think we're back to you, Uncle Doug.
Got another corner. Mike McKenzie.
Oh, Mike McKenzie.
Yep. Started his career with Green Bay. And then finished up at New Orleans. 6 years at New Orleans. Had 13 interceptions. Couple hundred tackles. Couple forced fumbles, fumble recovery. Unfortunately, no Pro Bowls or All Pros.
I have him too, Ray.
Oh, okay.
Yep. All right. Well, now we're back around to Ray.
All right. I went with the older feller. He played in the 70s. Name's Tom Myers.
I also have Tom Myers.
Okay. He's got a Pro Bowl on his belt. He played all 10 years in New Orleans. 36 interceptions, 2 for touchdown, 15 fumble recoveries, 2 for touchdown, 2 sacks, and no tackle stats to be had.
Well, then. All right. Well, I think that's around to me. And I went with a guy that name recognition was high. He has a lot of accolades, but he may not be the greatest fit, but I think he would do a good job. And I went with Darren Sharper.
Me too.
Yep.
5-time Pro Bowler. One has a Super Bowl. He's on the 2000s Hall of Fame team.
It's some All-Pro teams, isn't he?
6 All-Pro teams. Not all of which were in New Orleans. But he was a hell of a safety for quite a while in the league.
Well, when he did that, that was the Super Bowl season, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the year they won the Super Bowl, he had 9 interceptions, which led the league, and he also led the league in return yards and return touchdowns with 3. He was Pro Bowler, all first team All Pro, damn, and came in 3rd in Defensive Player of the Year.
He'd probably be in the Hall of Fame right now with his career numbers, but I think he's in prison.
I think you're right.
So I think that's prevented him from making the Hall of Fame. He's got 63 career interceptions, which is top 10 all time, I think. I'm pretty sure he's in prison for something. I just don't remember what he did.
20 years in prison for rape.
Okay.
That'll do it.
Every time.
Yep. He pled guilty to drugging and raping a woman.
Yeah. I know he did something bad. I just can't remember what it was, but
Got all that money, and that's the route you want to go.
Some of them just don't think, man. They just don't use their brains.
Oh, drugging and raping as many as 16 women over the course of 4 years. He only got 20 years?
Yeah, that's almost like a crime show.
I mean, Deshaun Watson molested like 24 people, and he's playing football.
Is
so
it that many? I mean, is it that few? I mean, I thought it was like 60.
Who knows?
Probably. Well, I mean, 24
like,
stepped up.
He had
I
like
mean,
20-some cases against him. But
that's wild.
anyway, we need to get off this topic.
Yeah.
Is that everybody?
No, I got one left.
Oh, I got 2 left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm done.
I gotta go through my people here.
So, yeah, so where do you, Wade?
Oh, yeah. Well, I have the Hall of Famer Eric Allen. He's a 6-time Pro Bowler. Like I said, he's a Hall of Famer. Has 54 career interceptions. In the middle of his Hall of Fame career, in between Philadelphia and Oakland, he spent 3 years in New Orleans. Made a Pro Bowl there. You know, he's one of the top couple corners of the entire decade of the 90s. I think he just made the Hall of Fame recently. Like this year, I think. Or last year, something like that.
A couple of things. Number one, I didn't even look at him because I had no recollection of him playing in New Orleans. Number two, if he does make this team, he would be done because we put him on Philly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't realize he played for New Orleans either.
Well, the only other team be Oakland, and Oakland is loaded with Hall of Fame defensive backs. So I think the 70s Oakland Raiders have like 4 Hall of Fame defensive backs. That's not even counting Charles Woodson. But yeah, I just thought Hall of Famer, spent the middle part of his career at his prime years there, made a Pro Bowl there during the 3 years. You know, why not? This is kind of not the worst list we've done on defense, but it's got some scarce names up there.
You're right.
So I thought Eric Allen was a good one.
Are you done now, Wade?
Got one more.
Oh, one more. Okay. Uncle Doug, you got one for us?
I do. Toy Cook. He played for the Saints from 87 through 93. He had 16 interceptions, forced fumble recovery, or 3 fumble recoveries, 4 sacks, 294 tackles. Unfortunately, no accolades. 1 Super Bowl champ, but that was, I think, with San Francisco. So.
Do you have any left, Ray?
Yeah, one more.
One more. Okay.
Defensive back, Gene Atkins.
I don't have him.
Let's see here. 7 years in New Orleans. 21 interceptions. 13 forced fumble recoveries. 7 sacks. 462 tackles combined. He played in 87 to 96. His son is Geno Atkins.
Oh,
Defensive tackle.
Bengals.
you know, Atkins was a beast.
He was. Good little piece of info there, Ray.
Yeah.
You said you're done, Alberto.
I am. So we're back to you, buddy.
My last one is Sammy Knight. Played with them from the late 90s and the early 2000s. What caught my eye really was, I mean, he's a guy that he ended his career with 42 career interceptions. I thought was pretty good, and he was in New Orleans for 6 years, and 6 years got 28 interceptions.
Oh, yeah.
So he forced a lot of turnovers. Yeah. So seemed to tackle pretty good for a defensive back. Had almost 600 tackles and 28 interceptions in 6 years. So Seemed to be a pretty good all-around guy. Made a Pro Bowl. It was in New Orleans, so. But yeah, thought it was a good pick.
Hmm.
So that's all she wrote from my list.
Wow, all over the place for this defense.
Anybody else have anybody left?
No.
Nope, I'm good.
Thank
So we're
God.
good, but we got the hell of a list. What, 10 guys, Ray?
12 it looks like.
12. Okay,
Yeah.
then.
4 guys in.
4 guys in, yep.
Huh.
Let's see here. I'll go ahead and clear up Greer. We'll go to Sharper.
Oh, look at you.
Sharper's in.
Now that I know what he's in prison for, I really don't think I can like him anymore.
I don't want to like him, but we kind of need his talent on this football team.
Well, he was a great football player. I used to kind of like him, but
Yeah. I think Uncle Doug. I think I'm gonna come off McKenzie and go to Allen.
here we go.
Off of McKenzie and go to Allen.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a Hall of Fame defensive back on this roster. I feel like we gotta try and push that through.
Well, I'll come off Cook and go to Allen.
Oh, that means Cook's out.
All right. Well, let's see here. Got Atkins. Yeah, I'll come off Atkins. I'll go to Allen.
There you go.
That's gonna be 3.
Hill's in.
We're gonna have 3 straight episodes of somebody getting a 1 in.
Yeah.
That's right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
All right, I'm gonna
6.
break this up.
So
So
we
we-
got, what?
2 1s and a 2
Yep,
for 1 spot.
yep.
Yeah.
McKenzie, Myers, Knight. I don't know anything about any of them.
Oh, I didn't see Knight down at the bottom.
Knight was the last guy. I knew.
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, do we want to roll a dice or something?
All right, who's got who here? I have
Me
Knight.
and Doug, I think, got Myers.
I've got McKenzie.
Oh, who's
I'll
got?
go
Oh,
with the guy on
me and
McKenzie.
Alex got Myers.
Yeah, I got Myers. Yeah, sorry. I wasn't
Okay.
paying attention. Yeah.
My guy's a safety. What are your all's guys? Are they safeties or corners or what?
McKenzie's a corner.
Well,
Myers is a safety, and he was born in October.
Oh.
we gotta get the fuck out of here this October. Okay.
You said your guy's a corner?
My guy's a safety.
Your guy's a safety. Myers is a safety. McKenzie is
Well, actually, I don't know if my guy was listed as a safety or just a
corner.
defensive back. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. Sometimes they went defensive back.
Yeah, so I don't know if he did both or
He's
what.
listed as safety on here, except for the 1 year.
Oh, okay. So he's safety then. Well, here's what I'll say. We do already have 3 safeties in.
Jenkins, Matthew,
Sharper.
Sharper. Yeah.
So should we go to the corner? Because 4 safeties is a lot.
That's true.
Well, I think you should go to the corner.
Well, I mean, I already had the corner and
Right,
came
you
off
already
of
had
him.
him.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, we barely know all that much about these
That's
guys.
true. I'll come off Myers and go to McKenzie.
I'll go to McKenzie.
All right. Well, I guess I'm going to McKenzie. That sounds like a good pick.
All right.
All right. There's 7. 1, 2, yep.
We got him.
I had 6 of those guys.
Oh. Yeah, same here.
Well, that makes our 7 starters for our 7-on-7 defense. Marshawn Lattimore, Dave Waymer, Malcolm Jenkins, Tyron Matthew, Mike McKenzie, Eric Allen, and Darren Sharper.
It's not bad.
It's not a bad defense. I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad.
Yeah, it's solid.
Yes. And that will end our 7-on-7 portion and move us into MVP talk, which is a definite weird one here. Obviously, you're thinking, well, the Saints don't have an MVP winner, Alex. And you'd be right if we're talking about the AP MVP we normally talk about. But Archie Manning won the UPI MVP in 1978. So, and you're thinking, wait a second. I listened to the Steelers episode, and they talked about 1978. And again, listener, you would be correct. Terry Bradshaw got to keep his MVP, surprisingly, because we talk a lot of shit about Terry Bradshaw around here. But he got to
that
keep
bald
his
bastard.
1978 MVP. But we're going to compare him to old Archie Manning and see who should have been the ultimate MVP, UPI versus AP.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, just to let everybody know, Archie Manning in 1978 was the quarterback of the New Orleans Saints, obviously. And he threw for on 61, almost 62% completion percentage, threw for 3,400 yards, 17 touchdowns, and 16 picks. Yeah, and his team went 7-9. The Saints were not good during Manning's heyday. That's fact check. The year before that, they went 1-8.
Yes. Yeah.
1-15 2 years after this. 2 years before that, 2-11. They were the Aints.
Yeah, they were not good back then.
No.
Archie got beat up pretty good.
Now Terry Bradshaw here, he in 1978 had a 56% completion percentage, threw for 2,900 yards and 28 touchdowns with 20 picks. So I do believe there is an argument here because Archie had like 6 points of completion percentage on him, plus threw for 500 more yards.
How many rushing yards did Archie have?
That's a good question.
And Archie played on a much worse team.
Yeah.
Much worse team.
Like, Archie was like on the worst team in the league, and Terry was on the best. Like, it's a huge difference.
Yes. In 1978, Archie ran for 200 yards and a touchdown.
Terry ran for 93, so not that much different.
Yeah, about 100 yards difference.
Nothing crazy.
I will say this is a time period where it appears QB wins were very, very important. So I don't expect the voting to come out any differently than it did. I mean, Manning didn't even receive an AP MVP vote. Well, Wade, somebody that wasn't here for the Steelers episode, what is your thoughts here on Bradshaw's season?
I mean, for the time period, it's a pretty nice year. I mean, this sounds bad, but 20 interceptions in that time period is not abnormal. I mean, it's still a very, very high amount, but it seems like back then, if you had more touchdowns than interceptions, you were celebrated.
Yeah, I mean, if we looked at, which we did that night, I think if you look up Staubach and probably Fouts, they probably both threw 20 interceptions as well.
Yeah. And his 28 touchdowns at that time period is pretty nice. Bradshaw had a pretty good year for the time period. He did.
He did. He did lead the league in touchdowns, by the way. I didn't say that earlier.
Yeah. I mean, Bradshaw had a very nice year, and when you have that good a year for that time period and you go 14-2, I understand why he got the MVP. But then if you throw in the fact with Archie, who Archie had around him to have more yards and a higher completion percentage, and I know he didn't have as many touchdowns, and he only had like 1 or 2 more touchdowns and interceptions, but I think if you really knew how bad the Saints were back then, what he was able to accomplish is I'd say at least equally as impressive.
Well, he was probably thrown to Danny Abramowitz that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And Bradshaw was thrown to Stallworth and Swan.
Yeah. Franco.
And I can't think of a Saint running back from back then.
I mean,
Okay, so here's Here's their leading rusher for the season was some guy named Tony Galbraith.
Oh, I remember Tony.
He had
Okay.
635 yards and 5 touchdowns on 3.4 yards an attempt.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And then their leading receiver was Henry Childs, who had 53 catches for almost 900 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Hmm.
As a team, they only averaged 3.6 yards per carry. The Saints.
Yeah.
Eee.
Yeah, not good.
That's some bad offensive line play right there.
Mm.
Surely the Steelers did better than that. I mean, they had Franco Harris,
Yeah.
Hall of Fame running back.
Well, we can look right quick. Well, Franco only averaged 3.5.
Ew.
They averaged 3.6 as a team.
Damn.
Wow.
That sucks too.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, because Rocky Blyer only averaged 3.8.
Jeez.
There's your 2 leading rushers right there.
They accumulated a bunch of yards that just came inefficiently.
Huh.
That's crazy. That's buck wild.
Glenn Swan had almost 900 yards and 11 touchdowns. Stallworth had 800 yards and 9 touchdowns.
A lot of spread out shit after that.
Yeah. Tight end.
I'm kind of disappointed with Franco Harris right
Okay.
now.
Yeah, me too.
He had over 300 carries and barely got to 1,000 yards. That's crazy.
He averaged over 4 for his career.
It's just been a bad year, I guess. I don't know. For him.
Hmm.
Maybe he's playing hurt or something. Who knows? Yeah, he has some gnarly seasons in there.
His rookie season, he averaged 5.6.
Talking about rookie seasons, did you see Terry Bradshaw's? It might be the worst one I've ever seen. I'm not even trying to hate on the guy. It just caught my eye. It's astonishingly bad.
He threw 24 picks and 6 touchdowns.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And 8
24 and 6 the wrong way?
Hey, in 8 games.
Oh my god.
He threw 24 picks in 8
and
games.
led the league.
Wow.
That's insane.
No, did not know that.
6 touchdowns and 24 interceptions in 8 games.
That's insanity.
That's, yeah. Like, I don't. Is that the worst rookie season you've ever seen?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm somebody that went on to have a career like his. You know.
Remember back in the day when Dad used to make fun of me because Peyton Manning threw like 28 interceptions as a rookie? He also threw like 28 touchdowns. Okay.
Yeah. And a lot more than 8 games.
Yeah. Dad better not bring him back up. I got him now. Bradshaw's going down.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing with Bradshaw is over the course of his career, he got benched a lot.
Yeah,
He
he
did at
did.
least a couple times. Bradshaw was just very. He did have some really successful seasons.
He did.
We give him a hard time on here. He did have some really big moments, and he had some for that time period some really big seasons. But he just also seemed to be kind of be like a roller coaster. There was some really good, just with some really bad too, mixed in. But yeah, that rookie season just caught my eye. I couldn't help it.
Wow. Yeah, that's.
I mean, yeah, that's three interceptions a game for 8 games.
Well, yeah.
Yep. That is correct.
That's just his average.
Yeah.
He's probably got some games where he had like 0 touchdowns and like 4 or 5 picks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Things were, yeah.
Well,
I wonder, yeah.
I was gonna say, so I think Terry Bradshaw probably is still the MVP here, because of Manning playing on a losing team, and having almost the same amount of touchdowns as his interceptions. But I will say the Manning season is very impressive. Playing on a crap team and being able to do the things he was able to do is impressive.
I would have liked to have seen what Archie could have done with a decent offensive line.
Yeah.
You know, he's just one of those guys that had a lot of talent coming out of college, but because he went to the worst team, that was it.
Yeah.
The New Orleans has been good to his kids. They all went to
Yeah.
high school there and grew up there.
Well, I mean, look at Archie's win-loss stuff throughout his whole career. It's insane.
Yeah,
35 and 101.
yeah.
That's nuts.
I mean, not even close.
That would just take. I feel like that would take the love of the game out of you.
Yeah,
Like to lose that much and get the crap kicked out of you while you lose.
Yeah.
yeah. He was. There's a thing on. I believe it's on ESPN. I've seen it also on SEC Network. It's called The Book of Manning.
Uh-huh.
And it talks about Archie and Peyton and Eli and Cooper and some of the things that Archie went through in his life. You know, his dad killed himself, and Archie found him.
Mm-hmm.
He set it up that way.
Yeah,
He wanted Archie to find him. Yeah.
He made it to because he didn't want the females to find
right.
him.
And because he knew, and Archie did what his dad thought. Archie cleaned things up so that his mom and sister didn't see.
Yeah.
You know, he made sure he protected them.
Right.
You know, and I mean, Archie's just such a strong person. It's too bad that he didn't get a chance to really shine in the pros.
And then with the oldest brother and that whole thing happened.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
It's kind of bizarre with what Archie went through, and then with the oldest brother having his career cut short with that disease or whatever it is
thing
he
with
had.
his neck. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's just wild that he was a wide receiver.
Oh yeah.
It's wild to think when you look at Peyton or Eli, and you're just like, the oldest brother was a star wide receiver.
Yes.
Him and Peyton were going to play together.
Well, they
You talking
played
about
together in
Cooper?
high school and won a state title.
Yeah.
And then Peyton said he was going to go to Mississippi if Cooper
Yeah.
hadn't quit.
They the plan was for all of them to go to Ole Miss. I
Yeah.
think. And then Peyton ended up going to Tennessee after his brother thing happened. But
So it's no wonder that Arch runs
yeah.
because his dad did.
Yeah. Yeah, he seems to be a much better athlete than Eli and Peyton.
Yeah.
Eli still went to Ole Miss, didn't he?
Yep, he did.
I thought so.
Yeah, because Ole Miss was pretty mad at Archie when Peyton went to Tennessee.
Yeah, when I was, I've watched like documentaries, and I even have it's one of the few books I've actually read as an adult. It's a book about the Mannings, and yeah, like I guess I was young enough, this would have been 94, 95 when he first went to Tennessee. So, I was 3-4 years old. So it didn't really register to me until later on in life when I read about it and saw it in documentaries and stuff, how huge of a deal it was when Peyton didn't go to Ole Miss.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was a huge
In the state
deal.
of Mississippi, that was like natural disaster.
Yeah, they were. Like,
yeah.
It was a serious deal that he went to Tennessee. I was just like, whoa. I just didn't know all that as I was so young when it actually
Yeah.
happened. And then, yeah, it was a big deal. Well, I think there was even some fear that since Peyton didn't go, maybe Eli wouldn't.
Right.
So then they kind of feared, but then he went.
Yeah, he saved Archie.
Yeah.
All right. Well, shall we wrap this up, gentlemen?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate you tuning in for this New Orleans Saints episode. And I'm going to do it again. I don't know who's next week. Is it the Panthers?
Or the Falcons.
Falcons. Gotcha. So please tune in next week for our Atlanta Falcons episode. I got to get better at this. And thanks for tuning in to Sports the NEMO Way.